Okay. Good morning and welcome to the neighborhood. It's a great day to be outside in the park with your laptop on a wonderful, sunny Thursday morning. My name is Leona Agaritas, and I am the Executive Director of the Golden Triangle Business Improvement District. I'm excited to be here today with Mayor Muriel Bowser, Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins, National Capital Planning Commission Executive Director Marcel Acosta, and Chief Technology Officer Archana Vemulapalli. Before we start, I would like to thank our friends at the National Park Service, Gay Vitsky and Karen Cucurillo, for hosting us here today in Edward R. Murrow Park. I would also like to acknowledge Tommy Wells, who is the Director of the D.C. Department of the Environment, Energy and the Environment, our Golden Triangle board members, and all the partners who are here today to take part in this great event. Today, we are here to celebrate an exciting initiative to invest in new infrastructure. Technology that is going to enhance the public's experience, not only here on Pennsylvania Avenue, but ultimately throughout the city. We feel the neighborhood is a perfect showcase for the technology for a number of reasons. It's a place where the public and the private sectors meet, literally and figuratively. It's a place where thousands of people come every day to work. It's also a place that is rich with residents, with students, and with visitors from all over the region, all over the nation, and all over the world. I would like to thank Mayor Bowser for her vision and her commitment to a more sustainable DC, and to Cisco for their partnership and help. And with that, I'm honored to introduce Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody, and it's always great to be here in the Golden Triangle bid, and I want to thank Leona for her leadership, all the staff of the bid, and all the property owners who dig a little bit deeper to make a wonderful investment in this great part of Washington, D.C. Please give them a big round of applause. And this is indeed a very exciting day for us, and I too want to acknowledge Cisco and a wonderful partnership that we are embarking on, and I'm so glad that we can tell you a little bit more about it today. Let me too say thank you and really cheer on our team in the Chief Technology Officers Department and our CTO, Archana Vemulapalli. Give her a big round of applause. And we're calling on our agency to do a lot to keep our city running smoothly, and also to think bigger about the things, the use of technology, and how that will help DC residents and businesses get around better, how it will help them connect to the world better. And we know what that means. That means that that's more economic activity and more jobs. So recently I was with a number of CTOs from around our nation with Archana talking about our Smarter DC Lab. And we learned then about some smart things that the district is piloting. Also, Octo did a wonderful job with the PA 2040, this project on Pennsylvania Avenue, and we set up a demonstration recently to the Council of the District of Columbia about phase 1 of that project and discuss what we're going to be able to do with phase 2. And we were so excited that we wanted to launch this in a big way on Pennsylvania Avenue to talk about phase 2. So we're very excited. We're happy to be here on America's Main Street talking about this historic artery and what it can demonstrate for the rest of the city. So Octo, in close partnership with DDOT, has delivered publicly accessible internet through Octo-sponsored outdoor Wi-Fi and remotely managed sensor-based LED streetlights. I can talk to you a lot about streetlights, right, Tommy? We've been talking about streetlights for a long, long time. And we're looking forward to really transforming our 70,000 plus streetlights across the District of Columbia. But we have been able to use this project to test what we're really going to go out to the market for. What can we use this infrastructure for? How can we make sure that it's maintained? And when I say that, that doesn't include a business owner or a resident calling us to tell us when the street lights are out. We can do better. The resulting data will be used to create applications that can significantly improve district operations and reduce cost. So PA 2040 creates a rich ecosystem supporting a wide range of smart city applications. And today we also kick off phase 2. Now in phase 2, we will expand services to include smart parking, public safety applications, environmental sensing, water management, and interactive kiosks. And that, we know, will make a smarter DC. So you may not think a lot about trash cans. When you're the mayor, you think a lot, Leona, you think a lot about trash cans, don't you? And so we want to test trash cans that will have sensors to notify DPW when they are near capacity, and help us develop more efficient routes to cut down on congestion in downtown DC. So this project can tell us, instead of having too many trucks drive around, how we can make those routes more efficient, which provide more capacity for people to drive and park who need to drive and park downtown. Streetlights will have sensors that brighten when people are nearby and address for other environmental needs. That helps us save money. And while you are enjoying Pennsylvania Avenue, you can have a stable Wi-Fi connection to post on Instagram, Snapchat, or look for a job, or look for grant opportunities or contract opportunities for the great DC businesses who are looking for help. So Archana will give a demonstration of this project. We hope that you will all look into it. And I'm happy to announce that Cisco has named Washington, D.C. the first lighthouse city in the United States of America. With this partnership, we will provide new opportunities to increase economic development, create jobs, and provide innovative education across public and private sectors. As mayor, I'm also and always excited when DC can set the bar and be the first in the nation. That's exactly what we're doing in Washington. Some would have you think that nothing is happening in cities, and we know that is not the case in Washington, D.C. The accolades about what we've been able to do in our city abound. Attract more people, we're attracting more residents, our businesses are thriving, and we are investing in making sure more Washingtonians can participate in the prosperity that we are growing in Washington. And we know that smart tech solutions help us do exactly that. So with that, let me invite our new partner in this Lighthouse Cities project, the CEO of Cisco, Chuck Robbins.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, it's a tremendous honor to be here today, and I want to thank you for leveraging whatever technology you have to draw up such a beautiful day here in Washington. You know, we are, Archana, thank you for your belief, and Mayor, thank you for your vision. We live in a world today where technology is fundamentally at the heart of the strategy of every organization around the world. And it's not just the private sector and companies and enterprises thinking about how technology fundamentally allows them to change their business models. It's also happening in cities and in countries around the world. We have active engagements and formal agreements outside the United States with several government leaders, one of whom happens to be visiting your city today with Matteo Renzi, who's here. We have formal engagements going in India and Italy and France and Germany and Israel and the United Kingdom. And we have been working on smart cities for almost a decade. But I'll tell you that we went through a 7-year period where everything we did as it related to smart cities was to try to just demonstrate what's possible. We wanted people to realize the vision of what technology could bring to cities and countries around the world. And we focused on technology and what it means for GDP and job growth. How do we drive greater deployment of education so that we can provide opportunities for all citizens and create an inclusive city, country, and world where everyone feels like they have the same opportunity? How do we increase the number of STEM educated students who can take advantage of the fact that every job in the world in the next decade will require some level of technology knowledge? How can we help deliver healthcare more effectively? How can we drive innovation and startup communities? And how can we drive technology to make cities smarter so that we can just do things more efficiently, much to what the mayor described here today? So we have several smart cities around the world that we've worked on. One of the first was in Songdo, South Korea. We subsequently did a great deal of work in Barcelona, where we first tested the smart trash can concept. So the good news is we've learned a lot along the way. We've done it in the port of Hamburg in Germany and other places. And we currently have several, I'd say, initiatives going in cities around the United States. But I want to congratulate Mayor Bowser and congratulate all of you on the vision that's required to take on such a comprehensive approach that we're announcing here today, and we are absolutely honored to be your partner. As we start this journey, there are several areas that we're committed to investing here. One is just the fundamental smart city infrastructure and driving capabilities like smart lighting, which not only drives incredible efficiency, maintenance, but also is a key contributor to how you think about public safety in the future. Smart parking, and the fact that so much of your time when you're driving in a city, you spend looking for a parking spot. And if we can reduce that, then it cuts down on traffic, makes it more efficient, and actually reduces frustration quite a bit. Smart waste management, energy sensing, just lots of opportunities for us to work on incredible opportunities here in enabling the smart city infrastructure. The second key area that we believe in deeply is providing education opportunities for everyone across all the wards in Washington, D.C. Cisco has educated over 6 million students around the world in the last 2 decades for careers in STEM, and almost all of them end up with very solid, high-paying jobs as a result of that. And we believe with the transitions that are occurring relative to the importance of technology, we need to double that number over the next decade. So the second area we're focused on here in Washington, D.C. is our commitment to increasing the number of Cisco network academies that we have here, increasing the opportunity for students to become educated in this technology to provide opportunities for them. We also will create a spirit of entrepreneurship and leverage innovation center capability that we've developed around the world. We'll drive innovation centers here in D.C. as well as connect via some of the collaboration technology that you may see over here with our telepresence technology to provide students the opportunity to see what's happening all around the world, to create startups and build applications and technology applications that take advantage of the infrastructure that's being built here and create job opportunities at the same time. And then finally, we also want to work on a third element, which is really leveraging the technology to drive a higher level of safety and security in Washington, D.C. And we think that's just core to what's going to make all of our cities more viable in the future and enable us to enjoy our streets and create an environment where people are free to move around and enjoy all this phenomenal technology that we're actually enabling in the city of Washington. So we are proud to be your partner. We're incredibly proud that it is our first lighthouse city in the United States. And boy, isn't it appropriate that we choose our first lighthouse city to be the nation's capital. We're incredibly thrilled to be here today, and we want to thank you again for your trust and the ability to be your partner. Thank you.
Exciting stuff. Thank you, Chuck, and thank you, Mayor Bowser. The Golden Triangle will be using data that is generated by these sensors to improve the efficiency of our own operation. And yes, we get very excited about trash cans. The fiscal year that just ended a few days ago, on September 30th, we had pulled almost 70,000 trash bags from the neighborhood. So we see amazing opportunities, particularly in a largely urban area and in a largely tourist area, to improve what we do and do a better job for the city. And of course, as we learn, we will be sharing what we learn with Octo and others so that they can roll our lessons into the bigger rollout as it takes place. Next, I would like to introduce Marcel Acosta, the Executive Director of the National Capital Planning Commission. NCPC has a long time been a champion of the PA 2040 initiative, as Mayor Bowser described. NCPC has also been a really important partner in developing a vision for Pennsylvania Avenue west of the White House, along with a number of other federal, local, DC, and private sector partners. And with that, I would love to introduce Marcel.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Leona. And many thanks to the Golden Triangle bid, Chuck Robbins and Cisco, and especially to Mayor Bowser and her team at Octo for their leadership. And I really think it's a testimony to her leadership that we are named the first lighthouse city. So that's a remarkable accomplishment on behalf of the city. One of the great things about being in Washington, D.C. is the opportunity to showcase to the nation and to the world the truly innovative work that's happening right here in our amazing city. And there's no better place to highlight the possibilities of smart cities than on Pennsylvania Avenue, America's Main Street. So when the National Capital Planning Commission began thinking about smart cities, we wanted to explore ways not to only improve operations and maintenance, but to move visitors off the National Mall to enjoy our vibrant downtown and wonderful neighborhoods. So one of our important roles as NCPC is that of a convener. And the National Institute of Standards and Technology's Global Cities Team Challenge really presented a great opportunity. And through the collective work of our partners and in both the public and private sectors, we were able to develop an initiative that would yield real benefits to the district's residents, businesses, and visitors. This is an effort that promises new features and capabilities for Pennsylvania Avenue and beyond. So today's ribbon cutting ceremony really is the beginning of a pilot program that can be a more very innovative, efficient, and smart future for our nation's capital, and one that we will see replicated throughout the country. The potential of this project is limitless, and today Washington, D.C. serves as a model for a 21st century modern city. So we are honored from the National Capital Planning Commission to have been a small part of this extraordinary effort. And many thanks to all of you who are gathered here today and who have worked on this project. Through your hard work, you made our city's bright future possible. Thank you.
And so before we close, I would like to thank Archana and her staff for just being wonderful throughout all of this. You've been great to work with. You have a wonderful staff. You should be very proud of them. And we really look forward to continuing to work with you as you roll out. One thing, I know several of you may be interested in seeing how the sensors work, and as the mayor mentioned, Archana will be providing a brief demonstration over to my right, your left, as soon as the program ends, so that you can kind of get a little more information about how they work. And with that, I'm happy to close the program, and thank you for coming.